Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. Playing Lamplight City today. Takes place in an alternate sort of steampunk, I guess 1930s, 1920s sort of era. Yeah, I mean, you'll see as we go along. Just got to share screens, hold on. Apparently I can't. Right, so let's get going. Settings, you see what settings we got. Usual. Yeah, rough night, really cool. Oh, yeah.
Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire!
That's only funny when I do it to you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
Alright, here we go. The gateway for this future, city of air and light, the Lamplight City, thriving port of New Bratagan, is a beacon of progress and industrial advancement in the New World. Yet beneath the promises of a shining 19th century future, the city rests upon the foundations of poverty, class struggle, and crime. For police detective turned program investigator Miles Fordham, Lamplight City's shadowy corners are just part of the territory. But with his former partner constantly speaking to him from beyond the grave, his grip on sanity is slowly loosening. Can Miles find justice for his clients, track down his partner's killer before the entire world comes apart? Lamplight City is a detective adventure set in an alternate steampunkish Victorian past. That's what I was looking for before. Bit of a description of what it is. Alright, Captain Snelling.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hanbrook flower shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager.
Nope. Tough. Oh, it's laying down.
Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
Alright, Bill. City of New Banana. Borough of the Comondeli? Gnome Dolly.
Thank you. Keep the change.
Whoa.
And so, our night of excitement begins.
Yep.
You more than anyone else should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a move on.
Left click to interact with the objects. Mouse goes context sensitive. Cool. Trash can.
Fordham, what are you doing?
I was gonna check inside this trash can for clues.
Miles, in the 15 years we've been partners, how many times have you found something inside a trash can that wasn't garbage?
Fair point.
Yeah, but
No point wasting time searching through a dirty old trash can.
You finally learned. I'm so proud.
He's just pacing back and forth, muttering to himself.
Probably
I'm
one
so
of the
used
patients
to
from Riverview.
clicking in the bin.
Seems like there's more of them on the streets than in the asylum these days.
What else is there? Window.
Looks like they've had some trouble with vandalism.
Pretty much every business in this part of town has.
Come on, Bill.
Charming little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
Yes.
With my allergies, hardly.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only 3 certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there.
I'm guessing he's not dead yet then.
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I'm Cecilia Hanbrook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a
Legere.
report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made
Weird.
anonymously. But are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Hanbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
Oh, okay. That's a very high quality picture.
Could you give me
burglaries.
the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
I
How
mean,
unusual.
okay. As long as they're paying you.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the two men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely out of the ordinary.
2 seconds. There we go. I think I fixed it. There we go. Avatar was bothering me. Break-in. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Why is it doing that? Why is it not? Okay. Why is... No, it's not. Where's the... How do I get back into the main menu? How do I... What is the pause button? There we go, settings. Why is it doing that?
I'll let you know if I have any more
There we go.
questions, Mrs. Hambrook.
Ah, yes, I'm sure you will.
Oh, I'm going to restart that. Quick to type my name, because that was... Shouldn't be doing that. I'll just click past it all. It's kind of annoying, that was. Let's try this again.
Wake up, son.
Haven't I told you nothing?
What's the...
That's fine. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join.
Afraid she...
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking?
Okay, skip to where we were before. Come on.
We've...
Sitting in better no. Ratangi. Whatever. Done this bit.
Thank you. Keep the...
Thank you, Governor.
And
You...
Yeah, okay.
Rob.
Right, skip. Yeah, we've done that. Make sure we re-click everything. Oh, okay. We can actually... Didn't realise we could do that.
Burglary at a flower shop. Not the most thrilling case we've had, is it?
Let's do this one as well.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Snelling's been giving us the boring cases lately on purpose.
Why would he do something like that?
He's eyeing a promotion to chief of police. He'd sell his own mother's cane if he thought it would help. Plus, there's no secret he doesn't like us.
I can't understand why. I've shown him nothing but respect.
It's because you're too good at what you do. And because you're friends with me.
What's that got to do with anything?
Not everyone is as open-minded as you, Miles. Let's just leave it at that.
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so... fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we both managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting.
Lovely.
Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or four.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
When's the last time you took any time off?
That's a good question. What year is this again?
I think we've both been working a bit too much lately. Addie's been wanting to go visit her mother in Dixie. Maybe we can all go.
That sounds nice, but I wouldn't want to be a third wheel on a visit to your in-laws. Unless... would Adelaide's brother be there by any chance?
You're incorrigible, Bill.
It's one of my finer qualities.
Yeah.
Got any opinions on the upcoming election?
I'll just be glad when it's all over. Seems like the last few months have been nothing but people giving opinions and telling me what to do without a moment's peace.
I know what you mean. I already saw some kids putting up Atwood posters down my street.
I already drew mustaches in all the ones on my street.
Handlebar?
You know me too well.
I always thought of Atwood as more of a Van Dyke type of man myself.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, there's something to do tomorrow.
You enjoying this weather? It's a nice evening for it, not too hot. I find a bit of fresh air always helps clear out the mental cobwebs.
It's just too bad the air in the chum is about as fresh as a week-old corpse. At any rate, it'll be winter before you know it. The whole city will be shut down, and we'll be digging bodies out from under the snowbanks.
Always something to look forward to. The ferry ride over was surprisingly uneventful, don't you think?
I know. It doesn't really feel like a visit to the chum without seeing at least one fist fight. Oh well, there's always the ride back.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
Looks like
Pretty much. Fordham?
fair point.
Right, we've done all that.
Come on,
now.
Bill.
Let's go back in.
Charming little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Yep, done all this bit.
The staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first. That way you can catch me if I fall.
We should probably ask for permission before heading up there.
For those just coming in, I'm just skipping a bunch of stuff because the game messed up and the lines weren't
Too many left.
happening.
Seems
So
business isn't so bad around here.
I'm just getting back to where I was, which is literally just after I started talking to this woman, actually. It's going up.
Be right.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
So we got into
Oh.
conversation with her. Then it started messing up, so hopefully we'll be fine this time.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
about 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
How unusual.
That is very strange. But, I mean, you're getting paid still, aren't you? So
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood.
see what you
If
did
you're
there.
looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely out of the ordinary.
Break in.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Are there any other points of access to the building?
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary? I was just about to close up the shop.
I mean, it would help.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
So, daily loads. Okay.
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes.
Yes.
I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
It's got a weird, like, stray pixel there.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for
Implicitly.
ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting he had anything to do with this, are you?
Not at all. I would like to speak with him
Sorry, I've got a
though.
bit of cold
Where
coming
might
on.
I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order within the hour.
Good. We'll meet him here then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
Nope. about yourself?
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
That's Facebook at the top of the screen or right click. Okay. Right click. Okay, current case. Honor among thieves. The Handbrook flower shop has been burglarized. Will the burglar return or investigation just a formality? Find a point of entry upstairs, wait for Trevor Hastings and speak to him. Clues, missing lilies. The 3 orders of Easter lilies have been taken, but money has been left for them. Money has been left for them. Why would a burglar bother to leave the money behind? According to the only points of entry to the shop are the front door and the upstairs windows, both of which she keeps locked. Only she and her assistant have a key. Nothing on suspects. Nothing on documents. Okay. A save. Jimpy. Save. Let's go. Come on, Watson.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
Suspicious.
Bill?
What's going on, Miles?
Yeah, so yeah.
I've heard of honor among thieves, but have you ever known a thief to pay for stolen goods?
Perhaps conducting normal business is just too boring for him. Do you think he might be doing it for the thrill?
There could be any number of reasons. The best way to find out is to catch the culprit and ask him ourselves. What's your impression of dear old Mrs. Handbrook?
I like her. Good old-fashioned, tough-as-nails Chumley woman. Reminds me of my mother.
Cholmondeley.
Your mother was never quite so stubborn. Why do you suppose she's so reluctant to accept our help?
It's a chum thing, Miles. You wouldn't understand.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
A rather distinguished-looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
It's like it's a very big stretch, but from because I'm bigger screen, it looks like what's his name? The Spider-Man guy, Tom.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the
Can't make
dust
his name
buildup
now.
is any indication.
Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the one. It's like Tom Holland device.
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Handbrook isn't too fond of steam tech, or just doesn't understand it.
Understandable.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away, I wonder?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots downstairs.
Kind of like Japanese that where you like put gold over a crack or something.
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window from the ground.
There's a big gap there.
The window latch, securely locked. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room. I wonder.
What are you thinking, Fordham?
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
Do I see anything? Long and thin. Anything can I do?
Unmarked, but if the
I'll keep my distance.
seems to be the broken.
Why not?
It's like
Okay, long and thin.
a young lady, perhaps a relation of Mrs. Hanbrook.
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
Long and thin. Can I go downstairs and ask something?
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs. Hanbrook.
Very well, Detective. If it will help you conclude your investigation faster.
Mrs. Hanbrook, were you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the store?
It's a distinct possibility, but I have yet to figure out exactly how.
Well, I trust you'll come to a satisfactory conclusion, Detective.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Okay, I guess. Any knives or anything nearby? Nothing.
These seem to be part of the watering system for the flowers.
I haven't seen old piping like this in a while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
I didn't see anything thin or. Oh no.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
Exit, fire escape.
Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the...
It's apparently not got an inventory system, so I'm not sure how. A small gap between the window and the frame through which draft enters. A small and thin object might fit through it. Upstairs window. The upstairs window leads to a fire escape, but it's locked. Could this is how the burglar entered? I don't know. Hair on my glasses. Close.
Seems to be the broken...
Why not just...
It's like...
Shelf. Crates. Device. I'm looking for like a trowel.
pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I've never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person.
Portrait.
Seems to be the...
What?
It's like...
I'm gonna save because I don't want to like.
It says private.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
I'm gonna save because I don't want to like leave and then can't get back in.
No point wasting time.
You find...
Okay.
Glad this thing is lit. This isn't really the type of place I'd prefer to be at this time of night.
Don't worry, Miles. I've got your back.
Can I?
That reminds me. I should pick up a bouquet for Addie when we're done here.
Seems like you've been spending more time with me than with her lately. I sure hope she's not the jealous type.
I can't see anything that would. Nothing like selectable.
Mostly a bunch of
Growth tonics, eh?
plant, growth tonic, spill.
Of course. I knew that.
Ugh.
These prices are pretty reasonable. The place I go in Worcester's clearly robbing me blind.
If you think those are bad, don't go near the flower shops in Lyon.
I'm gonna have to go like pixel hunting.
Fascinating device, although it has nothing to do with the burglaries. I don't think this...
It's a nice view, though.
Unmarked.
I'll keep my distance.
Unmarked.
I'll keep...
Shelf. I'm just can't see any.
Bill?
What's going on, Miles?
The gap in the window upstairs is intriguing.
Do you think it might be the point of entry?
Indeed. I just need to find something long and thin to confirm my theory.
I think you were born with something like that, Miles.
You're disgusting, Bill.
That's what I was
I know.
thinking earlier.
That's why I always do the dirty work.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
So glad they said that for me.
The
Can I-
window latch. Securely locked.
Can I?
The
Why can't I?
The window. Interesting. Lamplight City in all her glory.
Why?
The
can't-
window.
Let me
the win-
undo the latch. Alright, I've inspected all them. Dems? I've inspected all that. I've inspected that. It's been inspected that. Try again.
I would imagine that keeping.
When do you suppose...
Hard to say.
Window. Floorboards, any knives? No. Center display.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only 3 certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Choice again.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there.
Try Bill again.
Yes, I'm right here. There's really no need to ring that bell when I'm standing here. It was funny the first time, Detective, but now it's starting to wear thin. Detective, please. Ah!
You've had your fun, Fordham. Best to knock it off and get back to business.
Tempting, but I think I should focus on more important matters.
I got an achievement, ring my bell. I love that. Hanging plots. I've clicked everything. I swear I have.
Aha! This hook is
Oh, you gotta be
exactly
kidding
what
me.
I need.
A hook.
Mrs. Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
You gotta be kidding me.
Good. Bill, it's time for our experiment.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop. Rather dark out here.
Watch your step, then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Oh,
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that, anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
yeah.
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
Alright, so now can we go back out?
The window latch.
Okay, so we can't go back out, okay. Right.
Ah, Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say
Leger.
there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
I I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
And they've gone.
Now, Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions?
Go on, then.
What can you tell me about the recent burglaries?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you a lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own, as much as Cecilia would like to. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers and leaving money behind. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying. In my day, if you robbed a place, you did it the right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars don't do their jobs correctly.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
Deliveries.
Could you walk me through the process of your deliveries?
Of course, there's no great science to it. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascone around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off. I'm not about to let Cecilia down by being careless.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards, but they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines. So the offer came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates along, even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Detective. If you don't mind, Detective, I still need to check the crate before I bring it in.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
Learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign. But if you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
Right, let's talk.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
5 will have to do.
Any thoughts on Mrs. Hanbrook's assistant, Trevor?
Yes, I feel sorry for him.
Why? He seems to enjoy his work.
Nah, it's not that. He's obviously smitten with Mrs. Hanbrook, but she won't give him the time of day.
What? You only saw him for a few moments. How in the ether did you get that impression?
The way he looked at her, the way he spoke when he confessed to contacting the police. Shall I go on?
No, that's fine. I see what you mean.
Really, Miles?
Loves her.
You'd be surprised what you can learn from people if you just look at them.
Why bother doing that when I've got you to do it for me? Right. Based on what we've been told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
So what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns? Catch him in the act?
Exactly. It's our best chance of solving this before the trail goes cold.
And I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's as you said yourself. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Besides, forbearance is good for the soul.
Spoken like someone who truly has no idea how to have any fun.
I'm sure I'll get the hang of it one of these days, especially with your expert tutelage.
Okay, let's go have a chat with Mrs. Hambrook. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know we're spending the night.
She's gonna love us.
Damn, I forgot to bring my deck of cards again.
At least it's quiet up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we did this.
What?
I said... Oh, right. Your sense of humor remains
I like
on
this
point.
game.
Miles, have you ever considered leaving all this behind?
What, you mean quitting the Force?
The Force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out there, you know?
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters. Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Britannia's filth and squalor after a week, but...
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt anyone. Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
Ah, right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just...
Shh. I think I heard something.
Ooh, I had it too. Okay, it's Lurch.
Oh, no.
Bill? Stop! Police!
Damn it! He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on the roof. Stay close and keep me covered.
Bill!
Stay back, officer. I've got a knife. Ready your pistol for him.
But you're too close!
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now! There's really no need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. And we can all forget this ever happened. Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles. Take your shot before things get worse.
No reasoning with it.
No!
Oh. Just killed him.
Bill! Oh, God! I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
Well, I just killed him. Whoops. Apparently I lost my face.
Wake up, sunshine.
I thought that's what I called you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Overdid it on the soporific.
Wait, what?
Why do I feel like I've had this conversation before?
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again. Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
It's no personal slight. I just need some quiet time, or I'll go insane.
I get it. We all need our space. I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
If you're just as miserable, why don't you just go away and leave me in peace?
Believe me, I wish I knew how. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me. So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have, or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
Right. For the 1000th time, you want me to find the burglar from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going to help.
I can understand your confusion, considering it was you who killed me. But the point remains. You wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
A decent night's sleep?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's gonna start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
I always like that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room. That's a fun little
Suspicious.
apparatus Adelaide got you. Very soothing.
Watching it spin long enough puts me right to sleep.
I'd say that's really more the soporifics doing. Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore. Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
Well, he does look a bit like Sherlock.
I always like that self-portrait.
Oops.
Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
It would be nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you appreciated some romantic music. Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems. Adelaide's mother certainly enjoyed pressing flowers. Do you suppose she does more of it now that she's retired? Cozy little winter getaway. That would be a welcome change from the winters in this city. It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you. Ha, that poster brings back some memories. That's from around the time you two met, isn't it?
Yes, back when Addie was singing at the Angel.
Let's leave this place.
Well, look who's awake. Ready to rejoin the living?
Very much so.
Oh,
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
jeez.
Thank you, but I haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
I always like that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the city. It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles. How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them. You remember how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes.
Message. Fordham, a big case has come in which I think interests you. Meet me at the Raven Coffee House for more details. See Upton. Cupton.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. Especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the ruined coffee house. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over.
Didn't I give you two that clock as a
clicked.
wedding present? Too bad it stopped working. Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move. Your book collection...
Newspaper. Fucking hell. It's Tuesday, marks the 3-month anniversary of the tragic crash of HMS Ligura. Ligura is preparing to make its second transatlantic voyage when disaster struck. The airship burst into flames shortly after departing for England, crashing into Foster Park. All 300 passengers on board, including HRH Prince Harald, were killed, as were 54 bystanders in the Park Royal Maverick Lines conducted an investigation and ruled the crash as an accident. Citing ignition of a gas leak, despite rumours of sabotage persist, Royal Maverick vowed to instill strict safety regulations going forward, and that Ligura's sister ship, the HMS Lenore, will be extremely safe upon its completion. There has been public outcry and protests continued on page 7. Madame Laura Debris, age 44, died on Saturday of apparent natural causes. Born Laura Chesterton in London in 18th century. Can't speak. She and her family moved in New Britain in 1804. In 1818, she married Cole, Andrew Shepherd, a royal officer, 30 years in senior. You can tell I don't read, like, often. The marriage lasted 1 year, ending with Shepherd's death during a trip to Piedmont. Shortly after, Dupree married Benjamin Montgomery and a doctor, and they had 2 children, Juliet B. 1820 and Andrew B. 1821. Sadly, Benjamin died of tuberculosis in 1830. 5 years later, Laura married John Dupree. A banker, Dupree was known throughout the community as great humanitarian for a policy and exclusive employing humans rather than using automated service machines in her manor. Funeral service to be held. She had unpaid 5. Existence of aphoristy? It's real and it's coming, says scientists. Existence of aphoristy, a substance said to possess both energetic and restorative properties, was first put forth 2 years ago by Dr. Bennett Clark. His presentation at the annual Vespucci Science Conference in University of New Britain was extremely divisive. Dr. Clark claims the aphicity exists in small amounts on Earth, but is mainly located in the celestial region commonly referred to as the aether. Imagine electricity, but hundreds of times more powerful. In addition to powering lights and machines, it can significantly reduce the effects of aging, heal the sick. Skill will no longer be the limit, he described. Dr. Clark has yet to secure significant funding for experiments, as his harshest critics have dismissed him as a crackpot. However, there are those who believe that. Continue page 9. Right. Second bizarre murder of Apple's police. New Bretagne police investigating a murder on Cheltenham. Similar to one which occurred in the borough just last month. Though many details are confidential at this time, we were able to confirm both victims were male and died from gunshot wounds. New Bretagne police declined to reveal any further details and denied rumours that murders have been committed by a serial killer. We have no reason to believe that murders are related, said Chief of Police Reginald Snelling. We have finest detectives on the case and hope to find whoever perpetrated these awful crimes very soon. In the meantime, we ask the citizens of New Bretagne, especially those in Cholmondeley, to remain vigilant and report all suspicious activity to a police officer. Coverage will continue as the story unfolds. God, that was a lot to read.
Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one. It's been so long since you used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair? Bollingworth Ale. My favorite! And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday.
Right.
I shouldn't be gone too long.
Take care of yourself out there.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break, so I'll be right back. Save first. Screen. Right, we are back. I have Fritz with me because it was getting a bit quiet. It's me waffling to myself. So here, she's here.
Hola.
Did you catch me reading the entire paper at home?
No, I caught you just towards the end where you're like, that's a lot of reading.
I read every single bit on it. I was thinking, do you know what? Why not?
Oh no.
Ah, the Rouen Coffee House. Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte.
I always like having you with me on these like little point-and-click adventures because it's one of those genres. It's good to have like someone else sitting with you to play them. Yeah, you'd like to go, oh, what about that? What about this sort of thing? Else, it's just literally just silence me going, I'll click that. I'll click that.
Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here,
But
are
so far, so it started off in a flower shop, and we're just trying to find out why this person was coming in, taking flowers and leaving money for them. So he found out like the latch was open on top of the roof and that, and was getting in that way. So we got up to the top of the roof, and we basically wait for the guy to try and break in again, and then your partner basically sneezes, and the other guy runs off. So we chase after him onto the roof, and the guy's holding a knife against the guy's throat, and he goes, "Just take the shot." It's like you can either talk him down or take the shot. So you know what? He's one of these people who's not gonna. If you talk him down, it won't work. So I took the shot and I killed him. My partner. So now partner's basically talking to you. He's basically he can't move on. Yeah.
Best avoid that one.
So
It
the
looks like
person.
he might tip over at any moment.
Yeah. That's fine.
Reminds me of when I was
Windows
alive.
decided to be real loud for a
good
notification
times.
just then.
But basically the guy talking down the bottom is your partner. He's basically talking to you. So you can't see him.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
missing
so
his
that's
left arm below the elbow. How do you suppose that happened?
That's the basis.
Yeah, catch you up with that.
He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring.
What do you think about them footballs? I like the
Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Thing about
Arsenal.
Arsenal, they just walk it in.
If it isn't my old friend.
Yeah, it's been quiet
up to
tonight. It's
no
like literally
good.
just been me.
Hello,
nobody
Fordham.
else.
It's good to see you.
As you can
How
see
did
on
you
the
get them to
left-hand
let you in
side.
here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding. He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and
So
I
we
don't
were
report his unsavory
watching
business
one
practices
program,
to Chief
and then I
Snelling.
realized, wait, it's
Sounds like a good deal.
WandaVision. Why are we
What sort
watching
of
this?
unsavory business practices are we
Oh my
talking
god,
about?
though.
Oh, we haven't
I
got
know.
time to get into that now.
You know what? We're the
But
only
take
people
some
here.
advice.
Oh my god.
Don't order anything that isn't water.
You're the Scarlet Witch. I was like, ah!
So they said
the name.
it. They said the thing. Roll credits.
I do love though. She's scared of her. She's scared of Wanda.
Oh yeah.
I
She
love
should
that
be.
sequence though. It's that fucking. She fucking creates that. Oh, it's amazing. Do you think that Vision? Do you think that Vision is the evil guy? I think it's evil Vision.
I can't. I don't know. I guess I'll wait till the new Rockstars thing.
Managed to sneak another case past Snelling, eh?
Yes.
A week.
And if he
Gotta
finds
wait
out I
another
did,
week.
it won't be pretty.
Yep.
This is a big one. We're not in Lost Cat territory anymore.
So
Oh.
stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Do you know Madame
I'll tell you
Laura
in a second.
Dupre?
Oh, so people have taken the image. You know when she could see the yellow version of herself. People have
Yeah.
enhanced that. It actually shows her new outfit. So I'll send that picture after. Like that's basically it's one of
Oh,
those.
what when it was the Mind Stone.
Yeah. Did you see
Yeah, I
the?
said it's like, hey, look, it's the comic book type outfit.
Yeah. So someone enhanced it. So I'll show you that later. Like to because like, it's one of those pause the show moments. Oh my god, I love. I don't care if it's become a WandaVision stream now. I love I love the build up throughout the whole show. I was like,
Yeah.
I kept saying to Mum, I was like, they're gonna end it here. They're gonna end it here. They're gonna end it here.
Nope.
Because it's like, why are they gonna like leave this cliffhanger? Because they've built up so many cliffhangers. But yeah, Laura Dupree. The name's not familiar.
Laura Dupre. She's one of those
Dupre.
Gascon Grand Dames,
Dupree.
isn't she?
That's right. I'm surprised you've heard of her. I didn't think you cared about those types of people.
I don't, but Adelaide has several of them as clients. She gets paid to pretend to care about their lives, and I get to hear the sordid details.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
Oh.
My condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
Oh God.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse. Dupre's son
He
Andrew
was
was
missing
quick
his
to
arm,
suspect
though.
foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent, especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Joe was saying earlier about the one-click inventory is literally like there's no inventory. When I had to pick up a hook. So when I picked up the hook and did it, it just automatically used it. So it's an interesting point you click. Like no inventory. It's
So you're not having to like go through each item, like use this on this, see if that works.
Pretty
use
much.
this and this. Okay.
Which is good.
Why not just ask
Why?
So
Madame
it's like
Dupre
a
herself?
weird streamlined
She hasn't spoken
point
since
and
the
click.
ordeal. Apparently, she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
But supposedly
How
I
unfortunate.
suppose it's like
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house.
I'm drinking
It's
wine.
at
That's why I describe
451
it.
Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about
mind.
before you get started?
So it's kind of like in the like L.A. Noire and Sherlock Holmes ones where you just have questions to ask and you sort of deduct what the
Yes,
could be.
actually, I had a couple of questions.
Let's hear them then.
Oh, we're going to full zoom vision. So
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard. It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me.
it's got a very
Anyway,
Sherlock
work isn't
vibe
something to
though,
focus on. I'm
outfit-wise.
sure you can relate to that.
Yes, and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine, although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest. The less said about it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
There was a character before that had one stray pixel just right there. It was like white, like they forgot to fill it in, and it really bothered me.
Just like, please color it in, please color it in.
Because you can see like the dots in that were like they've sort of cut out the shape.
That's terrible.
Don't suppose there have been any developments.
It's
regarding
terrible for me
Bill
because
Murray.
I'm just wanting
Unfortunately
if
not.
people
The
notices
department
that.
hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
I shot him though.
And of course there are still
And he
those
fell off
who
the
blame
roof.
you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
But the man who
died.
really caused Bill's death is still out there.
What?
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find
When
him.
did he die?
My hands are tied. I can
Yesterday.
only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but
correct
the criminal
question
world
is,
is surprisingly close-knit.
Who did he die?
If you
Wait.
find any connections or leads during your other
New
cases,
Britannia.
be sure and let me know.
Britannia.
I'll do the same if I find anything out.
Wow.
See, she has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from up there.
Chew.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Madame Prix.
What do you know about Madame Dupre?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice, which I can empathize with, and she's extremely rich, which I can't.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupre's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat. You're the only person I know who can put it right.
Upton's intentions are noble, but she has to realize this is just a drop in the ocean.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Okay,
Well,
so we've
I'm not
learned
entirely sure
not
how
much.
this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion. Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing.
Pretty really lazy.
The specialty house brews. These are definitely not coffee.
Serving girl.
She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply. A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add.
Yeah, that is the wrong way.
All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee?
He's got a
Good
very
to see
like.
you up and about again.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it hasn't been easy. But it was either go back to work or spend all day in bed and starve.
Now, it's good of him to keep your spot open. Lots of places would have just put in someone else.
I was gonna say.
Well, it's the least they could have done.
Look, he's very like Sherlock,
Years
like
after
modern
all.
Sherlock.
The boss takes care of his own, especially considering it was his machines that chewed up my arm.
Sherlock meets
That's nice
Bernard
to hear.
Black.
More bosses should be like that.
Hard to believe it's already been 3 months since the big crash.
Oh dear.
I know. I was just thinking the other day
Kinda
how
do.
much Lucy has grown up in such a short amount of time.
I was gonna leave, but I'm
Does
not.
she
I'm listening to you two
understand
guys
what
now.
I think so. She's been asking questions about her mama lately, but I still haven't told her the whole story.
You'll know when the time is right.
Is that it? Okay.
Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror.
Make sure it's
isn't
not
it,
good
Miles?
Calvert. It's kind of like slight rotoscoped animations. Right, so she's
Maybe
there.
they are.
I should go. Pre-manor. I'd go to Compton Street first. Check that out.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate, anyway?
Please, let's not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
We need to eat. Knock, knock, knock. There's a door knocker.
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
But wait.
I need to speak with you about Albert Martin.
But wait,
Albert?
there's
Are you
more.
with the police?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Oh, I don't think you can help. I'm sorry.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Good day to you, sir.
But. Knock, knock, knock.
You again? I told you I have no time for visitors.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Oh yeah.
Good day to you, sir.
I got an achievement early for nagging, for annoying this woman. It's like there was a bell, right, and you click it, and he goes, I'm right here, and you click it again. She says, you don't have to ring the bell. Now again, will you stop doing that? And do it. The other guy starts giggling, and I do it again. She goes, okay. He goes, okay. You should probably stop now. You just keep pressing it.
You again? I told.
Sorry to bother you.
Good day.
Okay, there's nothing else to that. I like where you can bother characters. Okay, apparently
I'm glad the Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Self-driving. Supposed to be steampunk, but it seems very modern.
Fordham? Is that you? You look like something the cat spat up.
Hello, Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
What brings you round the jail? I thought you'd quit being a
Jail,
detective.
Gale,
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I
Gif
see.
and Jiff.
Well, that's him in the first cell there.
I'm sorry,
I'd
did you
what
say
needs saying as quick as you
giraffics?
can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
I'm gonna
What?
I'm gonna go
Already?
to the shops
What
and
about
buy a
trial?
goldfish.
No trial
And the
necessary when
goldfish
there's
will go
black
in the
magic
goldfish
involved.
bowl.
This little half-breed's already sealed his
from?
fate.
There's
Such
a
a
video
charming
where
fellow,
someone was
isn't he?
like, it's Jiff, and he's like, excuse me?
I bet that's a direct line to the police
He
department.
just goes on a like
You should
a
make
rant,
a rude noise
just
into it when
trying to
Giles isn't
pronounce
paying
things.
attention.
Oh, dear.
I'll see
Either
if I can
crime is
find it
low,
for you.
or the
Back in a
police aren't doing
Giphy.
their jobs very well.
Oh
Not
wow,
much
it's
in the way of
5 years
comfort.
old.
No bed or even a bucket. It's a good thing
The
this place is
video.
meant for short stays.
Can I talk to you, Albert?
Mr. Martin?
Who are you? My lawyer?
No,
Yes.
I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
You can't
I'm
afford
looking
them.
into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Yeah.
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Well, fine then. hang.
Interesting choice of
Okay.
phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Yeah, apparently this guy who's used black magic. That's
What can you tell me about Madame
this
Dupre?
game. I'm
What's to
narrowing
tell?
down. It's supposed to
She's
be
a
alternate.
twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to
It's
her.
an alternate,
Whoever
like,
attacked her
past,
deserves
but-
some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
So it wasn't you then?
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin.
I could get you a lawyer, but you couldn't afford him.
Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to
Couldn't
do
help
with
myself
it.
that one.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was,
Reminds me
how
of
did
the,
her son know to
old
accuse you?
vines, like,
Have you had any contact with the family before?
I'm blah blah blah. I'm a lawyer.
Yes.
Do you need a lawyer?
could
Well, sucks
say
to be
that.
you, I guess.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
Always
You
pissed.
see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter, Juliet Montgomery. Dupre
Oh,
doesn't
dear.
like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as
She's a
pure
little bit
and
racist.
so loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
Nope. Tell me more about Juliet.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful,
She's dreamy.
kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but
I realise
I'm
you can't
sure
hear the
that's because
voices.
of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet
Nope.
wouldn't believe
You-
for a
it
second
might be
that I
worth
would
having
be
the stream
capable of
over, so,
harming her
alright.
mother. I'm sure
That
of
means
it.
I'm hearing
How
you
did you two get
twice, and
involved?
then you're
We
delayed.
met at the university.
Suppose.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't
Yeah, I don't
allow
know why
someone like me
you
to
can't. I
enroll
can't
there.
capture this. for some
Juliet
reason.
studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art.
It's the
Didn't
sound
just
of
treat me
silence.
like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
So tell me, man who gets test tubes, tell me about yourself.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home.
You don't
when
get
the
it. He
police
said,
showed up with no warning.
He said,
they made some outrageous
they all
claims
see me
about
as the man who
putting
gets the
some
test
sort of
tubes.
curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
Mother?
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... how can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
The picture I sent you, like, she looks like a Valkyrie sort of thing.
Valkyrie.
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
The outfit.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
That's all for now.
Wait, before you go, would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
Oh, so I had to come here first.
You're at 451 Compton Street, right?
Yes, that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
St. Rock's dog is barking.
I suppose I could do that, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
St. Rock's dog, okay. I can go to the house now.
I can show you the world.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering yonder. I forgot the last bit of that lyric. Even though I've watched it about 2 months ago. A whole new world.
You again. I told you I have no time for visitors.
Where I don't know how to sing. Don't use Google. Why don't you use Bing? Oh, he gave me a message for you.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Rock's dog is barking.
Get the fuck in here.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
It's code words and now you let me in.
Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
I should ask her.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
A massive, like, cauldron, sort of. What's the word? Has loads of rocks in it. It, like, smoke. Oh, there's a word. It's like a. Don't mean like churches. That thing. Oh, it's a word. I can't.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies.
Statue gives me the
For
willies.
all we
as
know,
well.
that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
Oh, that reminds me of something, right? He said, to get through that window thing earlier, right? He says, oh, yeah, I need something long and thin. I was thinking, I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to make the joke. So I talked to the other guy, and he's like, right, I need something long and thin. He went, oh, you have one of those on you, don't you? He went, wait, what do you think I'm here for? I'm here for to do the dirty work. I just love the comment. He's like, I'm here to do the dirty work. It's like,
interesting.
That's a great way to
Those
say you got a dirty
pots
mind.
look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves. That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily. It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
Can I see behind the curtain?
No.
I'm afraid that room is private, Mr. Fordham. I must
can't.
respectfully ask you to not go in there.
Of
You're
course.
not allowed.
My apologies.
Took.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Albert Martin.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
I'm
Is
trying
she
to
sure
create
that's
your
the correct body
Pokemon
part?
trainer
He's all the family
Okay.
I have, Mr. Fordham.
in the background.
That's fine. It's fine. You just hear really is is it a sounding board? Like you just hear I'm here to chat to you.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
know
here
anything
too.
about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never
It's
met
nice
her
to
in
have
person,
company.
but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for polite conversation, Mr. Fordham.
In other words,
But I can
don't
tell you
want to
this.
fuck all.
Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you
I
or
don't
your son?
much
It
care
most
for you.
certainly does
I didn't
not.
much care for conversation, sir. Juliet.
What do you know about Juliet, Madame Dupre's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
Albert's massage.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Roch is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth.
She sounds
Mystery
like
makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
It's like I talk like this, and you will listen to me speak. She's got like the presenting sort of
I'm
voice.
Taki Toaster.
like-
Duck is the name, toast in the game.
She's got like a proud voice.
What exactly is
Say,
it you
would
do,
you like some
Mrs. Martin?
toast?
I
No.
provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
Red
I'm a
Dwarf
mambo
quotes,
a subway.
everyone.
That means I'm what you call a
Red dwarf.
voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Voodoo.
Can you tell me a bit more about your religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason. Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or
I got a
turning
retweet-
people
I got a
into the
retweet
living
from,
dead. It's about healing
the dev of the game.
and life. Naturally,
Cool.
there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
If you're
Sounds like you
watching,
hit a sore spot. Might be
hi.
a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
Blah, blah, blah.
Do you know what? Right, hold on. Alt tab out. The last time Alt tabbed out, it glitched the game and it was going. That's off.
Don't do that.
Broke it. Shout out. Pizza.
Excuse me.
For anybody who are out there, check her out at this link, and it will be forever in my chat thing at the side. I've shouted you out on my channel.
But that's illegal.
No.
That's illegal.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
She
You'll
is
have
a
to give me
brilliant
a few
streamer,
minutes to heat up the kettle.
and
I'll be back shortly.
She's funny, especially when she's grumpy
Don't
with games.
listen to him. He's a liar.
No, she has entertaining. She's entertaining like cartoon games like Sonic and Viva Pinata and Stranded, where it's called.
Stranded Cells.
Yeah, which I'll be playing tomorrow.
Amazing. Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
She said not to go back there, so I looked.
Good question.
They obviously have some importance to
She
her.
said don't.
I'd suggest asking,
But I'm
I don't know if
curious.
that's the best idea given how
No.
sensitive she seems to be about
Bad.
the subject.
What did we tell you?
She's gonna. I asked her about the thing. She go, "Why did
The
you
tea
go back
should
there?"
be ready in a few minutes, Mr. Fordham.
I
You
won't
can
tell
help
her that
yourself
one back
once
there.
it's done.
You're very kind, Mrs. Martin.
Can
I've
I-
got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
I don't want to ask about the back room.
Thank you for your help.
Because
My pleasure.
I feel like it's going to be a bad side if I do. I'll wait around for a couple minutes.
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
I think it's best that she doesn't know I've been snooping. Snooping as usual. Chimpy voodoo. So. Gonna generate static electricity and zap the woman.
The Virgin Mary? I must admit she was the
last person I expected to see. Huh. I was looking at achievements while I'm waiting. There's a song you play later. It says, "I'm Bobbin, are you my mother?" That reference is in like so many point and click games. Do I actually have to talk to her about the back room? Ugh.
There's no way you'll be able to look behind that curtain while Mrs. Martin is...
Can I... Casebook. Can I... Looking at it. Question residents of Dupree Manor. Seeks Juliet Montgomery at the university. There's no clues. Suspects none. Mr. Upton. Big case coming when I think it interests you. Meet me at Ruin Coffee House for more details. I feel like I have to sit around, but I don't want to sit around too long because it's going to get boring.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies. A rather
I'm going to save just because I want to see what happens if I ask about it. If she's going to get mad at me.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can. I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Drop the subject.
Actually, never mind. I misspoke. Thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
Do I have to wait around? Should I just leave?
Aren't you going to have your tea, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I just remembered something important I need to look into. Perhaps later.
Suit yourself.
I'm afraid I can't be able to, we'll have to wait around for the next 20 minutes.
Look, you're long and boring. Please stop.
You are aware this is private property, sir?
I do declare.
Yes, I'm Miles
What do
Fordham,
you
private
declare?
investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupre. I assume this is she?
You assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupre's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Are any other members of the family home?
Her son, Mr. Montgomery, is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
I do mind, actually, sir.
Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person. This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
You
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years.
Yep.
Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
What do you mean by hedges? Wink.
Fu Manchu.
Oh, bastard.
Oh, hello. Are you the new servant?
No, I'm Miles
No,
Fordham.
I'm
a
really
private
snobby.
investigator looking into your mother's attempted murder.
How did you know I was her son?
I was a bit snobby
of
rich
course.
man.
You must have
No,
sensed it with
you
your
turned into
detective's
Tommy for a
intuition.
second there.
I should have guessed by that giant
Hi,
head of
I'm
yours.
Tommy.
Hey there.
All right, Mr. Montgomery.
That's fucking frog
Yes,
detective.
yes, I'm fine. Much better than when those pesky police officers were snooping around earlier. But I like you, Mr. Fordham. I can already tell you're not like them. Not like them at all. Please, call me Andrew.
I can tell.
Yes. Well, I'll have a look around, and I may need to ask you some questions. Do you think you can handle that?
I can. In fact, I really look forward to it.
Really?
If the good doctor gave him a mild sedative, I hate to see what the stuff you take would have done to him. What a beautiful parrot. Must have cost the Dupreys a cool copper.
Cool copper.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
Oh god, his face.
His face be like dun dun dun.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it. My mother, resurrected, just like Jesus.
Jesus.
Yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
We hate to talk to
Oh,
you.
no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
Himself.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Nothing as exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
Jesus Christ.
That's what the man sounds like. Yeah.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
Listen, just turn up the stream for a second. You're here. I'll click on him. I'll click when you're listening.
Okay.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
I'm reminded of a famous quote, Mr. Fordham. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Let us part on good terms and avoid the subject altogether, please.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him.
He
has
sounds
such pretty
slightly
colors,
camp.
doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like.
It's like, would you like help out of that closet?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery.
You seem to have locked yourself
Thanks
inside
for
the
your
closet.
time.
Would you like to come out?
No, thank you for yours.
This is ridiculous. He won't be of any use in this state. If it takes him as long to snap out of it as it takes
Slap
you,
him.
we'll be waiting around here until noontime tomorrow. There has to be a way to bring him back to his
Beat
senses.
the shit out
Maybe
of
that
him.
quack outside knows something of use.
Chuck some water in his face. There's a buttocks there.
Lovely.
Dupre looks like she's holding
Statue
on to that
buttocks.
poor bastard for dear life.
Alright, let's check out kitchen.
Some kind of water dispensing device, maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen.
Doesn't surprise me.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe. It's times like these make me wish I could still eat.
Pardon me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm investigating the attempted murder of Madame Dupre.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm very busy. I can't help you.
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
It says
No,
pray, but I
don't.
say pre.
Please leave me to my work.
Gonna
I shouldn't be
pre-
talking to you.
All right, I'm going.
I always love that in Game Grumps. I like even the Obama. I'm gonna pre.
Judging by the
It's
amount of
like the
food this
Obama
family
one's
probably
so-
eats,
I love it when
washing
they
the
say-
dishes must take forever.
It's like, oh my fucking god.
I love when they say I'm gonna pre.
Judging by the amount of food this family probably
It's like, hey Michelle, they were doing a bit about me.
It's the fact that Danny does a perfect Obama. Gonna pre.
Stop laughing at your own joke.
a horrible little porcelain figurine.
It's not even my
Madame
joke.
Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls.
Boy, that's some delivery service.
Thank you for the raid, Doddle.
Dudley, 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 dud.
I hope you're having a good
Doddle.
day. I shall give you a shout out. Doddle. There you go. You're playing Minecraft.
Hey, we are loving Minecraft stuff.
Yeah, Minecraft, we'll be back to that at some point when I think we should be able to fix bloody Twilight Forest.
Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime.
It's a bloody nightmare last time.
Yeah, exactly. I can't move my mouse outside the screen. Twitch chat decided to scroll right up when I typed in the thing. Can we go in this room? Okay. Yeah, how are you doing, Diddle? Diddle.
Doddly doddly doddly.
Diddly.
Doddly doddly do. Doddly doddly do. Doddly 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 do. Doddly doddly do. There, I've sung the song with your people.
Wait, why is this? It's doing the weird.
A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror.
It did that thing where it's when you click and it goes bloop, like that really quickly. The text just flicks.
Be normal. One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
It's like, you're not allowed to freak out, that's my job.
Covenant of the Damned and other short stories.
Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories.
Richard Bedletter.
Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting.
Very true. It's not very brief if it has 2 volumes, because it says a brief history.
Choice and consequence.
Brief.
Who in their right mind would write a book about that?
I keep using that word, but I don't think you
know what it means.
I don't even want to know what that one's about.
Equestrian memorism.
Memorism.
Buffalo Skinner, A Wildman's Tale.
I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
Oh, don't need to click there. Can I leave? There we go.
No.
Let's see if there's anything in these drawers. Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
That's very true.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
If you can't find anything the first time, check underneath and between.
This is intriguing.
I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my home, or I'll... rest it's burnt.
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me.
Well, please do remind me, because I want to know what happened to that strange train. Oh.
Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one.
Alright, so what do you get from the case? Torn letter. Not much. Right. Chest. What's in the chest? Locked.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh, he seems the guy's a ghost. Can't he just check inside the chest for me?
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
You're trying to use logic. That's not allowed.
I mean, the Blackwell games, you can't get in this door. So Joey, that person, who's a ghost, he goes through the door for you.
Again, are you trying to use logic?
Yes.
Let's have a look through these papers.
Logic works sometimes.
Aha. What's this?
Dear Miss Montgomery, unfortunately I've been informed of a series of burglaries in a neighbourhood near the room you're renting from me at the 726 Forest Place. As a precaution, I've gone ahead and changed the lock. Please find a close copy or new key. I hope this doesn't cause you much inconvenience. Here is a really well-drawn picture of a key. Sorry, I've lost the other one. Yours, Edwina Crestfell.
So, Juliet is renting a room in the Chum. That's certainly interesting. I can't wait to see what sort of dirty secrets she's got hidden away in there.
You're not mine. Get out.
Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
I suppose the key wasn't.
I always thought they had.
Yes. Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world. Juliet really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she?
So does Fritzer.
Excuse me?
That's the thing when you're not looking at the screen. Because Juliet really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she?
Oh, yes.
So it's like, so does Fritzy.
Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
Yeah. Tweezers.
These should be useful.
Yeah.
The science of pharmacology. I'm sure it's riveting stuff. It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark.
Yoink. Oh.
I hope remembering what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Enclosed is agreed upon fee. I wouldn't have your hands concentrate on exams without this help, Dr. Tennyson. Help. Dr. Tennyson charges obscene amount of, thank goodness for... I don't know my bloody punctuation. My brain's just like...
Are you able to speak?
Dr. Tennyson charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for people like you with home pharmacies. I look for them in the usual spot under the Weeping Angel. Dun, dun, dun. Don't. Blink. P.S. Sorry to hear about your mother. Are you my mother? I'll wait for you a few days before Father's morning. There's loads of Doctor Who references there. Leeches.
Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out.
It's funny, like how some old age, like medical stuff we still use today. Like they don't really use leeches anymore, but they use like maggots to.
They still use
Do they?
medicinal leeches for certain things.
But I know they use maggots a lot more these days. Because they use the maggots that'll clean the wounds and that.
The maggots tends to eat the infected areas.
It's fascinating though, like.
And
I only
the
wonder what
leeches
sort
are
of potions
used to
Andrew concocts
extract
in
any
this.
toxins that happen to have gotten into a certain area.
Yeah, it's just fascinating though. It's like one day someone's like, do you know what? Let's chuck some maggots on it.
A
See
gentle
what
reminder that
happens.
everyone's
Yeah.
time is slowly running out.
It's just back when medicine, like you could just do anything. Like, there
A
wasn't any
gentle
restrictions
reminder
and
that
stuff.
everyone's
Everybody just tried
time is
everything.
slowly
Like,
running
oh,
out.
Try everything on everything.
that person had a heart attack, cut off their arm.
What in the ether is that thing supposed to be?
It's like, yeah, sure.
Actually, I'd
Okay.
rather not know.
Snake bite, cut off their arm. Sneeze, cut off their arm.
Oh, look! It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder.
It's still amazing, that is. How you get sound of a wax cylinder. Is this like a... What is the thing for this one? Oh, I've lost all my 4 viewers. See ya. On the harpsichord, play 4 notes in this order: high C, F, G, middle C.
High C, F, G, middle C.
High C,
F, G, middle C.
G.
That's a nice melody. Reminds me of my mother.
I'm Bobbin. Are you my mother? Dun, 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 dun. What's that from?
Hmm?
The I'm Bobbin one. I can't remember.
Don't know.
I'm Bobbin. That is from A Monkey Island. Oh yeah, I'm Bobbin Fredbear. Are you my mother? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun,
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Nice melody. I think you should call it the Cheater's Suite.
I like that. You get punished.
You get punished.
Oh, so basically I was looking at the thing for the achievement for the bobbing one. And it's like, try this. You try it, he goes, I like it. You should call it the Cheetah Suite. It's like, whoops.
He called your ass out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be a nice place to sit and listen to music. Yeah, it must be. Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird.
I can take
The
him.
bottle is empty.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Where are you taking him?
Yep. Took him.
No, where are you taking him?
Oh no, they're empty. I took
To
'em.
dinner? Or you sign
That's a bad joke.
What is?
Taken to dinner.
That wasn't a joke.
Doctor, may I
Am
ask you
I
a few
taking
questions?
the bottle of pills
Please
to dinner?
be my guest.
Yeah.
Oh god, this man looks weird. I thought his mouth was open then. He's just got weird lips.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community.
Maybe he has.
I cannot
two
imagine
mouths.
why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
Do you think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Dupree's death.
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupre had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupre wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
Sedative.
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
Almost.
Did you examine Madame Dupre after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupre to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
How long have you been Madame Dupre's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30. I still spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
30 years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things. If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
Creepy. Okay.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupre was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
So he was given pufferfish.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them
poison.
adequately.
Poison venom.
Poisonous venom.
Her eyes are glazed over. If we didn't...
Okay,
this would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway.
Let's leave. Oh, you can go to more locations. Optometry. Free Manor. Can we go back home and see what's happened?
I'm here.
It's good to have you back.
I'm here.
So
Queer.
what's this big
used to
case
it.
Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked and almost interred alive.
You mean Madame Dupre? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
The very same.
Goodness, that does sound serious. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're always a help to me, Addie. Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope so.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
Work.
How's work going? You have any appointments today?
Yes, one this evening. It's been a bit slow lately, but pretty soon it'll be debutante ball season, and all the Gascon Grand Dames will need their hair
No,
done.
no, I'm in hate,
You
dum-dum.
sure I can't convince you to let me give you a little trim? You've been looking awfully scruffy lately.
What's the point? I've got no need to go peacocking around town. You're the only girl for me.
I like it when you're clean cut. It brings out your eyes.
The way my eyes have been
Ooh,
looking
can I get a
lately, I
haircut?
think it's best to keep them hidden.
Aw.
How are you? It feels as though we haven't seen much of each other these past few days.
I've been fine.
Addie, you're not a very good liar. What's on your mind?
I'm worried about you, Miles.
You're not a very
I
good
know,
liar.
but
What's
I've
in your
told
mind?
you, there's no need to worry about me. I'm all right.
Reminds
You're
me of
not
someone.
all right, Miles. I may not be a good liar, but you can't fool me either.
Yeah.
I am all right. What do I have to do to convince
I tell you
of that?
everything.
You could start by throwing out that sleeping medicine. It's turned
Okay.
you into a different person.
I
Okay.
need it to sleep, Addie. I'll become an even worse person without it, believe me.
I know Bill's death was hard for you. It was hard for all of us. But whatever it is that's bothering you, you know you can talk to me about it. That's what I'm here for.
I know, my love. Your support means the world to me. I need some time to deal with things. That's all. It won't always be
I'm
like
talking
this,
to
I
my dead
promise.
partner.
Making promises you can't keep, eh, Miles? That'll end well.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre?
I've read that the Dupreys are one of the few wealthy families that exclusively employ real people to serve. Rather commendable, don't you think?
Yes. It makes it even more baffling why she was attacked. Have you heard any gossip from your clients? Anything about who might have wanted to harm her?
Nothing. She's held in the highest regard by the other Grand Dames. If she had actually
Grand Dame.
died, I'd have expected them to petition her canonization.
Compliment her.
I've still got that song you sang last week at the Rutherford stuck in my head. You were amazing.
Thank you, Miles. That was a lovely evening. I always enjoy it when Joseph brings out his violin and we can relive the old days.
Certainly nicer than when he spends hours telling the exact same story whenever you visit.
They were very glad to see you, you know.
It's probably the most fun I've had in months, to be honest.
They've invited us for dinner again in a couple of weeks, if you're feeling up to it.
I hope I am.
Book.
What's that you're reading?
It's a collection of short stories by James Penstroke. It was just published earlier this month.
Any good?
Oh yes, I love his work. He's been publishing a new serial in Brentwell magazine. I can't wait to read it. Perhaps we both can together? I think you'd enjoy him.
Lately, I haven't been able to concentrate on a page for more than 5 minutes without nodding off.
That is a pity.
I'll let you get back to your book.
It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles.
Have a lovely day, Addie.
Give my regards to Constance.
No. Been there. St. Denis Cemetery. Ooh, that's
St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it.
I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
Tomb Raider. Okay, so that was no help at all. It's going to university.
Huh. It's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here. Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
No.
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Oh god. A weird face.
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature interment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was. What sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead. I just felt a sense of relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never completely seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
I assume your mother didn't approve of your involvement with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption. As I'm sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
Servants.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
Fair enough.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things, just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
They're larger than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
Ah, but I can't reveal my secrets, Mr. Fordham. The world will hear about my discoveries soon enough.
Incidentally, do you know anything about Easter lilies?
No, I don't keep or grow those here.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
If you don't mind, fuck off.
Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated. But it looks like a giant earwax remover to me. One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing.
I mean,
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty. I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Isn't there anything else in there? Someone leave.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Egad.
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the table.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit. I wonder what sort of fertilizer or
got,
growth
like,
tonic
Sherlock,
these plants are getting. Whatever it
tins.
is, it's definitely working. Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. You're just doing what flies do best.
Fly. Huh.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that?
Well now, this is interesting.
Oh, stuff to read. Larger, more vibrant flowers, chlorophyll production seemingly triples. Root system strengthen, increasing capacity to absorb nutrients. Conclusion: plant thrive from exposure to small etheric currents. Further experiments needed to determine long-term effects. Etheric effects: brain is clearly affected in choosing trauma-like state. Trance-like state. Muscle control lost. Wings flapping in predictable pattern. Conclusion: if animals with greater cognitive ability, including humans, are exposed to specific amounts, specific quantities of ethericity, they will go into a stupor, appearing unresponsive or dead.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it. Etheric pressure. What a bunch of nonsense. I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
Can I leave? Oh, there we go.
This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass. They appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
They appear to be
That makes
Okay.
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose.
Bookcase.
That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Anything else? Go back here.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
The tea isn't finished.
She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Why make me go? Why can I go in there then? Come back in here, gal or jail.
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupre?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter. So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her. But even so, I love her daughter. I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
That's all for now.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business. He's watching.
Okay.
I bet that's a direct line to the police department. You should make a rude noise into it when Giles isn't paying attention.
Okay. There me go back to coffee house.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Madame
One
Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know, we are in a coffee house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful than coffee. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Much more powerful than coffee.
She's running back and forth. All that metal and... Give me an old-fashioned tea kettle any day.
Okay.
So what do you think will happen if this ethericity stuff turns out to be real?
Can you see? Go back to the manor, maybe.
This would probably... With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
This quack hasn't got anything more for us to learn right now.
Yeah, let's go in the manor.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
I found this bottle of pills upstairs. Are they yours?
Yes, I take those from time to time when I'm feeling tired.
You seem to be out.
Yes, that is a pity.
Where do you usually acquire them?
Oh, they're available by mail order only. I'll have to remember to request some later.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
Okay, that didn't help me. Can I talk to you, Eddie?
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Holly want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
I'm Edie.
Pieces of egg.
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Oh, I get Ray's a pretty bird. Do you get a reference?
No.
Who's a pretty bird? Ray's a pretty bird. Ghostbusters.
Oh.
That is a
So long, Birdie.
Bye-bye.
school reference.
A horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls. This is always my favorite part of detective work.
I thought we went through your drawers already.
Nothing inside but a bunch of extra doilies.
How disappointing. Maybe you should steal one, just to spite Madame Dupre for not giving us any good clues.
No, Bill.
You're no fun, Miles.
Right, casebook. No. Poison making appear dead. Dark Witch. Okay. Let's go through the rooms again.
Locked. They're all empty.
Not to mention disappointing. I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
Try this room. Oh no, there we go.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though. Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
Jesus. O Morpheus, caress my cheek, bring forth the soothing visions. Give me strength when I am weak, and allow me some provisions. I am your domain, I am as your queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've travelled places I've never been, and I know meaning of fear. The dove is pure, serene and pale, a glowing angel in a sparkling sky. His gentle cooing like the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Protect the dove from grim defeat, let it remain in gentle flight. For when the crows are allowed to be, it covers the world in eternal night.
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Okay.
Try the note. I'll come back to that actually. I can get them that way. Let's try the cemetery. I want to see him talk to that guard.
I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you. If only that police officer...
I thought I couldn't talk to him.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
I can. Let's go for a walk through the cemetery.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Guess you don't like cicadas. I made getting.
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
Yeah, I know me. Is it say out of tune? A little bit, yeah.
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir. But that's clearly a bunch of bull. You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
Yep.
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
No, sure.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled.
The only person I know who could get him out of the way is the chief police. And she is at the coffee shop. Tell me all you know, Commander.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
I seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer
Hey,
posted
Dee.
at Dupre's
How you
family
both
tomb,
doing?
and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Just turn on the laptop.
That's
and
enough
join
about the
stream.
case for now.
The
Okay.
detective guy seems
That's
to
it,
be
I
talking to
think.
himself.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Basically, at the start of the game, you accidentally shoot your partner, and now he's haunting you. So he's helping the case out in the background. Wait, you both had a bath? What, together? That's the way I've read it then. I mean, fair enough. It's something that Fritz does probably doesn't want to hear though.
I live in the same house.
Good day to you,
I'm
officer.
saying about your
Afraid
parents
I ain't got
having a
time
bath
for
together.
idle chat, sir. Please, move
Bro,
along.
What kind of bath size do you think people have?
Your mum and dad went, oh, no. I'm only
sorry.
joking.
Yeah, the bath is way too
We
small.
saw-
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please,
Sorry, I couldn't help my joke.
move along.
That joke.
Look, people get in a swimming bath together, it's fine.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
But I got distracted from an old lady or something. Oh, maybe if I go to the university and ask the lady, can you help.
Olympic-sized.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Hey, my thing worked. My welcome to the jungle grub of Vine swing on interchat.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
I just did
You
it automatically
surprised me,
after
Mr.
15
Fordham.
lines.
I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
We're dirty enough to dirty the
found
water.
that it pays to
or
be
Paul is.
open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical. I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Sorry, not dirty
Deceiver,
enough.
dissembler. Her
I
trousers
mean, you'd have to
are
apologise.
I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Experiments.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
Magic.
NASA-funded scientist says Mega Drive could enable
Oh,
interstellar travel. Someone's just says, great news for Sega.
Is that's the one I retweeted? Isn't it?
Yeah, you retweeted it.
So funny.
I found a spare key in your room, enclosed in a letter from your landlady.
You went through my room? Through my private things? How dare you?
I'm a detective.
Part of my job,
ma'am.
Miss Montgomery. Now tell me about your experiments.
No, Mr. Fordham, I don't think I will. You had no right to go through my private documents. And I'm not legally obligated to tell you anything. So kindly drop the subject
Whoops,
before I
I probably
decide to
shouldn't have
press
told her.
charges against you for unlawful entry.
Ooh, touchy, isn't she? Although, it's generally not a good idea to tell people you went through their things.
No more questions for now.
Can I?
And if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Can I go back into? Okay. Let me save. Plant. Can I load back before that? Damn, that's really far away. Is that closer to that thing? No, wait. Using the awful was in the harpsichord playing Exalta Key.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Was applying for missing out or what? Oh, okay. I mean, the music's not too bad.
Do you know anything about... Miss
Your brother told me about the experiments.
Your brother told me about your experiments. He said you haven't exactly been discreet.
That gossip. I'm going to have a word with him.
Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
She isn't mad at me this time.
Fine. I've been researching etheric effects on living organisms.
Straight up told her, like,
I'm planning
I
on
went through
presenting
your
my
stuff.
discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
That sounds awfully familiar.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies. Those experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. But then, I never really understood these scientific types.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Okay, so that didn't help me at all. I need to find someone to distract the guard. Wait. Huh. Missed that. Oh, because that was the room. Maybe you can ask the lady in here.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
She's not...
Ugh. Why didn't you tell me that before I go in the house? Maybe I can ask my wife.
Yeah.
Good.
Wait, why is that doing it? it's doing it every 5 messages. That shouldn't do it. Hold on, I'm having to alt tab out for a second.
Is it on a timer or every certain amount
I think it's
of
like
messages?
every 5, but because I didn't think many people would be talking. My brain didn't sort out. Hold on. Give me just 2 seconds. Timers. Loading. Yeah, 5 minutes every 5 lines. I'll do 920. No, I'm joking. Every 15. Within 10 minutes. Actually, no, 5 minutes is probably better. Right, there we go. I like the Pokemon thing, by the way. It's pretty cool. Thank you.
Good.
How much do you want for it?
1 penny.
Oh my god,
Patty?
what?
Yes,
Why do
dear?
you like me, like, giving you money for commission?
I was wondering if you could do me a
1
favor.
penny.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm.
Tenor.
Well, you are
1 penny.
irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
Yes.
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
Who knew I'd have to talk to my wife?
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me
How dare you,
blind. Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one.
Oh.
And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
God
You know,
damn it.
Miles, sometimes I
Punched him
forget
right in the
how
face.
absolutely delightful it is to watch
Bam.
you lose your head.
Miles, was that really necessary?
I'm sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work.
That was a lot of blood.
I have to say, I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
Huh.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
Tomb entrance. Let's go in. Ooh, Rescue Impache.
What a dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. Hang on. You don't suppose this is... That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles? These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another.
Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon. Rest ye with the angels.
Jesus, 21 years.
Desmond Chesterton, 1745 to 1810. Strong in life, stronger in death. John Patrick Chesterton, 1740 to 1825. Patriarch, leader, family man. William Arthur Chesterton, 1770 to 1837. Gone but never forgotten. Douglas Chesterton, 1791 to 1840. Good riddance. Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace. Sarah Chesterton, 1784 to 1812. I told you I was sick. Jane Scott Chesterton, 1746 to 1815. Ab Eterno. I don't see anything inside.
What, were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
I suppose the whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem. Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside. Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
We have pills. Right. Back to the Cree Manor.
This quack hasn't gotten any...
Mr. Montgomery.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
Fuck you get these pills from?
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
What you're doing is highly illegal. I have no choice but to report you to police. I'm willing to owe no activities in exchange for cooperation. Just you can't take one of these pills. I'm not going to bloody dose him.
I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation.
Fine, but you have to understand, I'm not exactly feeling myself right now.
I understand perfectly, which is why I need you to take one of these pills.
I suppose one would help. Thank you.
I guess I'm dosing him after all.
My goodness, I always forget how fast those pills work. My heart is racing. You said you had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. We mustn't waste any more time.
Well, that seems to have done the trick. I just hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
Hopefully not.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous, and everyone loves her. She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Oh, but family matters are my favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
Exactly.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well. I just hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
I'm getting all like likes and retweets from the voice actors in the Lamplight City now. Huh. Oh, the person who made Lamplight City also made also was in Whispers of a Machine. Enough.
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
So if any of them are actually watching
Mother
this,
married him
I'm
5
enjoying the
years
game
after
so
my
far.
father died of consumption.
My condolences. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
I've yet to finish that
he
one.
often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone. Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them? Why, Miles?
Yeah, Miles.
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
Dupree's death.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
A few days ago, I arrived home from school and found her collapsed on the floor. She wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I don't have one with them. They're servants. Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
Albert Martin.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all.
Albert
I
Barton,
heard their
roast of
fights, they
potatoes.
were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's
You
obvious,
said Albert
isn't
Martin.
it? His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
Pill business.
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side.
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham. Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all. Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Yes.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
It's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Maybe it wasn't a Ghostbusters reference then.
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight. I wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe.
No.
Pardon me, miss.
I told you I'm very busy, and I'll get in trouble if I'm
Yeah,
caught
why aren't
speaking
they
to you.
outside?
Amelie, please. I need to know what you know about Madame Dupre.
What? How did you know my name?
Juliet told me about you.
Miss Juliet?
Yes, I spoke to her at the university. She mentioned you 2 were friends.
Yes, that's right. She's always been so good to me.
Look, Amelie, I'm just trying to get some information. And I have a feeling you can be very helpful if you just let me talk to you.
All right, fine. But do it as fast as you can.
Madame Dupree.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
Oh, I really shouldn't, sir.
It would greatly help my investigation if you did.
Madame Dupre was kind enough to hire me as her cook. It's hard to get jobs in the city. Lots of people want their servants to use those new machines. My sister's brother-in-law got half his leg blown off by one of those new ovens. He's lucky he wasn't killed. So I'm plenty happy working here doing real people's work. But Madam can be difficult sometimes.
Difficult? What do you mean by that?
No, I said enough.
What do you know about Madame Dupre's supposed death?
All I can tell you is that whoever did it really hated her.
Do you know Albert Martin, the man accused of the crime?
No, I'm sorry.
Andrew.
What can you tell me about Andrew?
He ain't so bad. Kinda spoiled, but he mostly cleans up after himself. Has a whole private part of the house, but I think he only uses one room. Better for me, way less to clean.
Juliet.
What do you know about Juliet?
She was always so kind to me and the others, but her mother don't like that one bit. Still, she sneaks down into the kitchen to keep me company some nights. Even though she's a good soul, I think part of her does it just to spite her mother.
Jean Dupree.
Anything you can tell me about Jean?
I hardly ever see him, only at dinner. He's scared of Madam, and so he finds any reason to get out of the house and stay away as long as he can.
Scared of her?
Oh, it's true. You should see him when they're in private, like a shamed puppy that dirtied the carpet.
Interesting.
Do you have any idea why Jean is so afraid of Madame Dupre?
If he's seen the same things we have, then yes.
What kind of things?
No, I spoke out of turn. Forget I said anything.
Amelie, listen to me. A potentially innocent man's life is on the line. If I don't find out who attacked Madame Dupre, he's as good as dead. So if there are any facts or details you know that I don't, you need to tell me.
Tell me.
I can't.
You can. I'm not with the police. If Madame Dupre did something wrong, I'm not going to look the other way. Trust me, I'm on your side.
Madam beats the servants.
Wow.
I think she even does it for fun.
What a bitch.
I hear the screams sometimes. I don't know how anyone else in the family doesn't. Maybe they do and just ignore it. I don't know. But if Mr. Dupre knows what she do, it explains why he's so scared of her.
Did Madame Dupre ever abuse you?
No, I was lucky, but some of the others weren't.
Like who? I need details, Amelie.
The old gardener, Guy Dumas, and one of the maids, Celine. I saw Madame going after them the most. Don't know what they did to deserve it, but I would see her walk by in a rage, whip in one hand and a book in the other.
A book? What book?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read, so I don't know what it said on the cover. But it's the same color as the stew spice I always use. Don't know what she used it for, but she always had it with her, just before a beating.
Maybe she'd recite them some of her terrible poetry. I'm sure that was torture enough.
We've got a lot of clues then.
Tell me more about Guy and Celine.
They were deeply in love with each other. I used to hear them talk about how they wanted to run away together.
What happened to them?
I don't know. One day they were here, and then one day they weren't.
Do you think Madame Dupre may have done something to them?
I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Please, let's not talk about this anymore.
Battle yourself.
Are you the only remaining servant here?
No, there's another one, Marcel. He's the new gardener. I haven't seen him in a few days, though. Not since before Madame's incident.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
Spice.
Some kind of...
What about the spice colours? Spice.
Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Looks like the type of...
Okay. We're looking for an orange book.
Find it. Get it.
Okay, there's no books in here. Go look for the book. I'm looking for the book. Orange. Can either be that or that.
Well, this should be the book Amelie mentioned. Well, well, what have we here?
It's a steam
whip. And it has dried blood on it. How ghastly.
This house is just full of secrets, isn't it?
And we have a whip.
Crunch.
I left my Bourneville downstairs.
I have some questions for you.
All right.
Why the fuck is there a whip?
Were you familiar with a servant named Celine?
Yes, I believe she was one of the maids. I didn't talk to her very much. Oh, she quit not so long ago. At least I assume she did. I haven't seen her in about 3 months.
Did you know Guy Dumas?
The old gardener? Sure, I knew him. We didn't talk very much. He was just a servant after all, but he seemed like a nice man. He stopped coming around about 2 months ago. Too bad, really. He did a good job of keeping the gardens looking nice. The new one is all right, but he just doesn't have that special touch Guy did.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. I got the whip.
Amelie?
Yes? What is it? We mustn't be seen talking.
I found this upstairs in Madame Dupre's bedroom. Do you recognize it?
Oh, please take that away, Mr. Fordham. Why would you show it to me?
I'm sorry. I didn't think it would upset you.
Miles. Maybe someday you'll learn how to read basic human emotion.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now, please, let me get back to work.
Probably shouldn't have shown. Probably shouldn't have shown a whip to one of the workers.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please, be my guest.
Be my guest, be my guest. Look at this gorilla's chest.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be
see my
agitated
vest,
any
see my
further.
vest.
I take
Made
it
from
you
pure
don't look
gorilla
very
chest.
favorably upon him, then.
I'll just say
Oh, yeah.
this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
No, not really.
Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a... If we didn't...
I can't really talk to her yet about her whipping people. I'll start asking everybody about the whip then, I guess.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
So you can
She's
tell me-
not gonna...
Okay, yeah, let's leave. So she says she's not gonna... Okay. My wife's gone.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. She's not at home either. In the bedroom, I mean.
wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So,
They all need whipping
Addie
to
gave
shape.
it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
Okay, I guess I'm not coming back here for a while then. Oh, actually, don't inspect the books.
If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book.
Okay, that didn't help me at all. Back to the university, I guess, and talk to the daughter.
Unseen university.
Sure.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham.
A
Not
long,
at all.
a long black coat that's whipping, I mean whiffing. Okay.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often. He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
Cool.
Do you know Guy Dumas?
Yes, he was one of our servants. He used to enjoy reading my books, as well as Andrew's.
When did you see him last?
Just last week. He came by to see me and asked to borrow some books.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Not really. I get the impression that he moves around frequently. But I can tell him you're looking for him next time I see him, if you like.
Please do. Although hopefully I'll be able to find him before then. Were you friends with Celine, the maid?
Yes, I was quite fond of Celine. She was so sweet and interesting to talk to. One day, she just left the house with no explanation. Mother said it was because she had found work elsewhere.
Thanks.
I was terribly saddened. I wish I'd had the chance to say goodbye to her, at least. What's your interest in her?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all. No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Well, fine then. I'll go somewhere else. Back to jail, I guess then.
Nothing else to ask him right now.
Never mind. Guess not to jail then. Let's go to the coffee house then.
What a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. That whole thing about the man in the black robe, complete lie, by the way.
We haven't anything to discuss right now, Fordham. Come back when you...
I guess we're just going to the swamp then.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
A save and chimpy hunt.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently. Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting.
Ew, trophy
I
hunter.
had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child.
Gross.
One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest. An absolute bore.
Would it be a rich
3
person
hours
without
already?
hunting?
Are these even native to New
Yeah.
Britannia?
Wow.
It was quiet for the first two.
Seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth
That
man. Maybe
that
he's not
raid
so
was
bad after all.
lasted a good 2 minutes.
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
I guess it all depends on
Not very
like
much,
what the
except the
person is
letter.
playing at the time.
I suppose I should start playing bloody marble game. Dear Jean, thank you for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from all my studies is just unbelievable. It's fine. Don't worry. I won't tell how we made the university change their minds. One attempt at win at life is quite enough. Juliet.
Mm.
Oh. Don't shoot
Who the
me.
hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean
Why-
Dupre, I presume?
I guess we've
Yes,
been friends.
that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking
I'm
into
Bobbin.
the attempted
How are you, my
murder of your
brother?
wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
You startled me so much I got out my
Understandable, Mr.
shotgun.
Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Pretty much. At least he's put his gun down.
Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear. Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures.
Yeah, people are jerks.
You know, I've heard it said that needing to have so many guns is a sign of overcompensation.
He has a small penis.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife. The past few days have been
bad few
just
days.
awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Lord, does he actually expect anyone to believe that nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me?
Is that
Who
all?
are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house, with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor,
Excuses.
I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from
He's
his
hiding
wife.
the fact he's got a small penis.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
Himself.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
Kinda sus.
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Because they're not French.
Do you fear your wife, Mr. Dupre?
Do I... what?
The question's quite simple. Are you
Welcome
afraid
back,
of
Donald.
Madame Dupre?
Why in the ether would you think that?
Emily told me you
Your
were.
kitchen maid, Amelie, told me you were.
And you believed her?
Yes.
Really, Mr. Fordham, servants are good for one thing only, and that's their jobs. Providing information does not fall under that umbrella.
Mr. Dupre, be honest with me. Are you afraid of your wife?
Here you go again with that ridiculous question. Why would you think I fear my wife?
My wife. I found this bloody
I'd
whip.
be afraid of someone who kept a bloody whip in my bedroom. Care to explain that?
Exactly.
You don't know her like I
Going
do.
red scenes, but he's
No
very
one
rude.
does.
He's a hunter.
Well, no one aside from the
He
servants,
is
I
a
suppose.
piece of shit.
She's cruel, Mr. Fordham. Crueler than anyone or anything I've ever seen.
Dupre's cruelty.
Tell me more about Madame Dupre's cruelty.
She treats the servants like animals, Mr. Fordham. She would say the most vile, awful things to them. Things I would expect to hear on the Gascon docks, not from the lips of a grande dame. And the beatings. Oh, God. The screams I would hear from somewhere in the house. I never dared find out where.
Nobody else ever heard the screaming?
No. She was cunning. She would do it when no one else was around. Once she knew I had heard, she threatened me. Told me she would...
Cut off
Yes.
She threatened to expose my secret, Mr. Fordham.
my
And what secret is that?
Our marriage is one of convenience. It's all for show. Laura has herself a well-to-do husband, and I am a normal man in the eyes of society.
I see. I suppose that would explain a few things.
Well, now, how was that not obvious to you? The soporific is really having a bad effect on you.
Don't worry, Mr. Dupre. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
Tell me what you know about Guy Dumas and Celine.
Celine had an accident.
What kind of accident?
Laura thought Celine had been stealing her silverware. She got a bit carried away with a beating and...
Dupre killed Celine?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
she did. In order to keep it quiet, she had Celine placed in our family tomb.
I see. What about Guy?
I don't know. I never saw him again after that.
Well, this case has certainly taken a turn for the sinister.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre
Letter.
trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Ah, yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If
your
she
character's
wants to
glitching out
study,
harsh. You killed
she
her.
should be free to do
Accent
so.
quotes.
I wrote them
Yeah,
a letter myself,
my avatar seems to
without
wig out
Laura's
sometimes.
knowledge, telling
my
them
webcam,
to
I need a better
disregard the
webcam,
previous
but
request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes,
glitches
well,
sometimes.
I dislike seeing people
just
being told
happens.
what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Right. I think that's a good time as any to call it there, because I've been doing it about 3 hours and 10 minutes. So, let's name that Chimpy
Chimpy
TV.
plant, Chimpy voodoo, Chimpy hunt.
Chimpy TV. I know it's Chimpan TV, but it's a bit of a nostalgia thing in the past. Right, let's go raid someone. I'm going to raid one of my friends. They've got like 100 people watching. But I've known them for a while now. I don't know if they'll recognise my new... what's it called, though? My new name. Because the last time I talked to him, it was with my...
I thought it was Chimp Man, bruh.
Chimp Man. I can be whatever you want me to be. That sounds
Or-
weird.
If yesterday, if there you go. If yesterday's anything to go by, it's Chimpant.
Yes. Right. Raid.
Chimp pants. Yes.
Right. 101 people. Still amazed by it. Like what she's done in such a short time. But yeah, go and say hello. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the stranded thing, stranded cells. We're playing that. See you later.
Bye.
KO, I absolutely need. Oh, Sarah, you're sending me one. Chimpan. Oh, that's a great name. Chimpan TV. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for that raid. Hello. Welcome in. Oh my gosh, look at the little banana. Right. Oh my gosh, it's going quick. Okay. Why is it so sensitive? Welcome, Raiders. Okay, a distressed road, but we can work with that.
She literally only
I bet it's
does
gonna be
Animal
like
Crossing.
the best thing ever, and I'm just gonna be like, wow, I should have done that in the first place. And you're also gonna say that.
Don't
I know
know
it.
how.
Oh, I know you. Hello. Can we get a shout out for Chimpy, please? Please. Also, Savage, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the Frog Force. Welcome. So
I think the last time I talked to her was Chimpy TV. We met on Overwatch when it first came out. Funny enough.
Oh, okay. KO, pop off, Queen. This looks really good. Wait, so
Come on, followers. Come on.